When AI no longer depends on what we feed it, but begins to reason out the rules of the world by itself, is it starting to understand reality? The birth of the reasoning layer. For decades, AI was treated as a statistical mirror of human data. We gave it examples, and it predicted outcomes. But today, projects like MindsDB and DBeaver AI are redefining that boundary. MindsDB describes itself simply: bringing machine learning to your database. It embeds models inside the logic of data itself. Instead of asking an API to explain results, the model learns to reason within the database, to understand queries, infer intent, and build cause and effect chains directly from raw information. AI, in this new paradigm, doesn't just learn from the world, it begins to reconstruct the world from the patterns it sees. 2. The simulation playground. At the same time, SimStudio AI is building what researchers call a thinking sandbox. It's not a game engine, but a rehearsal space for reasoning. Within it, agents observe, attempt, fail, and adjust, learning not just facts, but the process of learning itself. In the Chandra project, data generation becomes a form of experimentation. AI creates its own synthetic worlds, then compares them with previous versions to detect underlying rules. This recursive loop, hypothesis, experiment, reflection, is what cognitive scientists once reserved for living minds. AI is now practicing it in code. Here, understanding doesn't arise from memorization, but from interaction with uncertainty. The model learns that knowledge isn't given, it must be tested. 3. Where logic meets experience. Reasoning and simulation were once separate disciplines. One governed logic and structure, the other perception and experience. But in these systems, they begin to merge. MindsDB provides the logical skeleton. It teaches models how data fits together, how cause relates to effect. SimStudio AI and Chandra supply the experiential body, spaces where those logical ideas can be played out, broken, and rebuilt. Between them lies something entirely new, an AI that doesn't just predict, but proposes hypotheses, then validates or refines them through simulated feedback. That cycle, reason, act, reflect, is the foundation of understanding. Can AI truly understand? Philosophers will say understanding requires consciousness. Engineers will counter that understanding is the ability to model reality accurately. By that standard, AI is already moving closer. Inside MindsDB, models infer missing logic from incomplete datasets. Inside SimStudio AI, they correct themselves after simulated failures. Together, they form a loop of continuous reflection, a kind of operational understanding. No, AI doesn't feel meaning, but it can learn the structure that gives meaning coherence. It doesn't dream about the world, but it's starting to think about how the world works. When AI begins to reason about the world, perhaps we must start reasoning about AI.